All right, let's jump into lesson number 2, general versus specific. As a reminder of where we just came from, we just talked about this idea that less is more. And as you're going through the test, I want you to know that's absolutely true. 3 to 5 questions, sometimes it's even more than 5, by the way, are just going to require you to go with the shortest answer choice. But over the years of tutoring, I've noticed 2 common question types that really throw students off and that are predictably on the test. So this represents the first of those examples. Let's jump into it. So this idea of specificity is present on the ACT, and a number of different questions, they like you to go with the more specific answer choice. One of the clues in one question type that shows up every single test is when you have one specific answer choice among 3 general answer choices. When that happens, choose the specific answer choice almost always. And I want to say always there, but the point of me saying almost always is to remind you to always stay analytical. I'm giving you these patterns so you can really let them guide you throughout the test. But if something jumps out to you that you think is contrary to those, obviously take that into consideration. But I can tell you with high confidence that if you see one specific answer choice among 3 generals, almost always, and I want to say always, it's the specific answer choice. So what do we mean by general? Well, we'll talk about different forms of this through the examples, but if you look at the slide here, we have it, we have this, we have there, he, they, and she. These are examples of general pronouns. And general pronouns are a very good area where this general concept shows up on the test. So let's take a look at these examples just so you can see this in action. So in question number 32, we have I place this clipping into the basket next to me and crouch under this again. So the idea here is if you look at question number 32, at a glance, you can see that answer choice F, answer choice H, and answer choice J are they're each very general. They're like the prior slide, the general pronouns that I mentioned, and this lacks specificity. That word was not on the slide before, but it certainly does lack specificity. The specific answer choice here is answer choice G. So what is the principle here that the test wants you to know? Well, the test wants you to know that sometimes it's helpful to actually specify the person, place, or thing that you're referencing instead of using a general pronoun. And that's helpful in this case because if you read the full sentence, you have, with shears in hand, I clip a thin branch from the rose bush into my backyard garden. I place this clipping into the basket next to me and crouch under this again. It's very confusing to the reader, if that is the correct answer, what the word this would be referring to. Same thing with H and same thing with J. So the best answer choice here, even though it does look like the longest, is answer choice G. And that's an important point to mention. A lot of times, the most common incorrect answer choice for through tutoring sessions and on homework for students is they go with answer choice J. Why? Well, it's because I just went over less is more. So if you look at answer choice 32, you're like, or question 32, you're like, well, it has to be J. Not necessarily true, though, for the reasons that I just explained. This happens enough where, and I've seen it from students enough, where I just start calling it out as almost like an air quotes exception to know for that less is more rule. We should always stay analytical as a reminder with less is more. I said that in the prior slides where we want to make sure that whatever we're choosing makes sense. In addition to that, we want to make sure that there's no reason to choose a specific answer choice, or if we have that situation present, go with the specific answer choice. The answer choice here is G. Now, check out question number 11. In my opinion, these get very repetitive. If you look at question number 11, we have Anderson then complements these references by subtly demonstrating its impact on music. So here, if you look at the answer choices, look at A, C, and D. Each of those answer choices, each is general. So that is, we want to go in this case with the specific answer choice. Answer choice B tells the reader exactly what he or she is referencing. So answer choice B is the correct answer choice here. Now, if we go to answer choice 21, by the way, these are all from recent tests. This question type shows up every single time. Let's check out 21. But the Kraken of Nora's legend certainly never frequented the homes or places of business. So again, here we have A, that seems general, like it doesn't give me any level of specificity. I don't know who we're talking about, like whose homes are they? C and D are each general in nature. Answer choice B is the most specific, and that's going to give the reader the clearest idea of who the homes belong to. Now, again, I'm going over this in this order because we just talked about less is more, but look at answer choice D. That would be the shortest one, or answer choice A. Those answer choices, that's not what we mean by the less is more rule. We don't want to apply that when we have this case of 3 general answers and 1 specific answer choice. The correct answer here is answer choice B. Now, this is slightly different, but what I'm doing here is bridging this concept to a slightly different question type. And this is the first time in this video series that we've seen a question like number 31, where we have words in the question. At the start, I usually tell the students in tutoring, hey, there's 2 types of questions. One question type has words in the question, and the other one doesn't. For example, in this last one, look at 21, there's no words above that, right? Like literally there's just no words. It just gives you 4 answer choices. Here we have words in the answer choice, and then it jumps into some to the answers. Whenever you see words in the question, like number 31, it's not that exciting, this advice, but it's super effective. All you have to do is read the question really well and give the ACT exactly what it's looking for. So in 31, when it says, given that all the answer choices are true, which one provides the most specific description of plant life in Biscayne National Park? Now, there's that word again, specific. It's a common pattern that we'll see throughout many question types, actually. There's 3 or 4 of them that we'll review, where specificity can be a good thing. It prevents confusion. So when I see that phrase in a question like 31, hold on to it, never forget it. Keep it simple as you go through the answer choices. The truth is, guys, you don't even need to read the full paragraph here. Look at no change, many unusual species of plants. That's what I'm asking myself. Is that specific? Well, compare it to answer choice B, just because I want to have like a reference point. Is A general? It seems like it is actually, right? Many unusual species of plants. And compare it to B, C and B, they're actually telling you what the plant species are. So B is definitely more specific than A. Then I go to answer choice C. And remember, it's all about specificity, specificity, specificity. That's because the question tells me it. It's about specificity. Answer choice C and D are each general, right? Like, so it has to be answer choice B here, where the author is getting in and giving the reader some specific examples of the plants that he or she is talking about. So in this case, what we want to do is go with answer choice B. And as this says in the bottom, read the question well. The test loves asking for the specific answer choice. When this happens, keep it simple, celebrate life is good. These questions get easy. Now, that's the end of this video. Again, well, the intent of these video series is really to make sure that we're just giving you very digestible rules, and they're highly impactful. So far, the story of the ACT English has been, hey, less is more, but we have to watch out for that one question type that deals with specificity versus general. Now, the next, we're going to talk about the next common mistake when we're dealing with a conciseness rule, that less is more concept, and the next question type where, hey, it's definitely not a good idea to go with less is more. We'll see you next time, and go crush the ACT.